Okay, so this is about collateral beauty. This is about a movie of a creative and passionate boss who had a divorce after losing his daughter, and then he became delusional to the point na he wrote letters addressed to time, love, and death. Tapos his friends knew about this, kaya ginastalk man siya. So his friends, who happened to be his workmate, asked three theater actors now to personify time, love, and death. Tapos yun, may mga setup na nangyari, and then they almost convinced the boss that time, love, and death really exist. So nag-respond yung actors na yun sa letters niya. And then later on, yun, may mga twist na sa ending. I was about to ask you to watch the movie. Naganito yung tatlong movie. Like hapon. I was about to ask you to watch this movie and then come up with a reaction paper. But then since it's almost prelim, I just decided to not require you to watch this one. But if you're interested to watch, you can watch this. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Okay. So we're done with the art as expression. There are many ways to express ourselves. Now this time we're going to talk about the functions and perspectives of art. I have here a picture of a spoon. The question is, what is the purpose of a spoon? Okay nga, anyone? Para saan ba yung kutsara? If you're familiar with spoon, what is it for?
Cuman
to deliver food. Okay. I-deliver yun sa ni Food Panda. Okay, to use for bringing an amount of food collected to eat. Okay. Primarily used for eating. If a person isn't comfortable using his or her hands, use the scoop food. Usually for eating. Primarily for eating. But are there other uses of spoon? What do you think?
No, I pay first. I pay first.
Meron pa bang ibang function or purpose yung spoon aside from scooping food? I don't know. Use a tool sa movie. Monster. Okay, ano pa? Are there other uses? Palamigin. Oh, really? Palamigin, ilagay sa ice. Oh, so it can be used for responding to health issues. There are lots of uses of spoon. Hindi lang siya for food, but the purpose talaga is to cook food. How about this one? Is a for house. Main purpose of a house. Bakit? Hello? Ay,
Wala siya Milo. Ako ang Milo. Wala akong Milo.
Mari naman sa o. Mapalit ko niya. Ano kayo mo?
batik ba ko, class? Wala ba internet? Ano ba na, oy? How about now? Shopee gyapon.
Ikaw ba?
Okay na? Okay, sige. So what is the main purpose of a hapon? Sige na.
Bawas ha? Kara ha?
Oh. Before giving shelter, no? Ayan. How about next one? Ito. Like forever.
Okay. Labas ha?
Santo.
Labas ka tapos ikaw magalit ha? Papasok ka?
Really? Bakit? Shopee gyapon. How about now? Okay, sige. So how about a chair? What's the main purpose of a chair? Support, sleeping. Okay. For sitting purposes, and for sitting, for relaxing, ano pa, for support, and for defense. Okay. Okay. So this morning, our topic is on the functions and philosophical perspective on art. No? So related yung pictures natin when it comes to function. So art has functions. No, why it exists in the first place. According to Aristotle, pictures for display lang.
Okay, labas.
Oo, iba na. Uupuan yan. Okay, so going back, according to Aristotle, sabi na dito, stable internet.
Say mo dyan.
According to him, every particular substance in the world has an end or telos in Greek. So, lahat no na nag-i-exist, meron siyang telos. So telos is intricately linked with function. For a thing to reach its purpose, it also has to fulfill its function. So lahat per function. And once you fulfill your function, yan. Then that means na you reach your purpose. No? So according to him, man is bound to achieve a life of fulfillment and happiness. So yan yung viewpoint ni Aristotle. And this is what we call the eudaimonia. Eudaimonia is actually happiness, no? And our happiness is linked with his function, our function. And our main function is rationality. Yung ating purpose, there is fulfillment and happiness once we act rationally. Yan yung kanyang viewpoint. What is it for? Example, ito siyang sa Luneta Park. The main function of this one is to commemorate our our national hero. The Luneta Park. But instead of just commemorating, yung nangyari naging tourist spot, diba, yung Luneta Park. Another, the Taj Mahal, this is supposed to be a tomb for the wife of the king. Pero yun, in the end, naging tourist spot pa rin siya. There are different functions. There are 3 functions of art. We have the personal functions. Its functions depend on the person, on the artist who created the art. Subjective siya. So you can art to communicate something to other people or to entertain other people or yourself, or sometimes wala lang. You just wanted to do something. Or for therapy, you can use art for therapy. So an example of a therapeutic art work is a coloring art or coloring book. This is given to those who need therapy on patients, sa mga impatient na bata. Ito yung tinuturo sa kanila, binibigay sa kanila na activity for them to become patient. Yeah. Another, we also have social functions. It is considered a social function if and when it addresses a particular collective interest as opposed to a personal interest. If you want to expose social conditions or emotions, and people toward particular, and then you can use art, and its function is social. This is an example of a photograph that talks about poverty, which is especially in the Philippines. Lastly, we have the physical function. It can be found in artworks that are crafted in order to serve some physical purpose. So yung examples natin kanina, yung spoon, yung chair, yung shelter, yan. Physical functions yun siya, no? The one that you've given me. The answers that you've given me lately, those were physical functions. So we have here examples of architecture, jewelry making. Ayan. They serve a physical purpose. Ayan. There are other functions, dalawa to. We have music also. So people compose hymns of love to express feelings and emotions. They use music as a wonderful accompaniment to stage plays and motion pictures. Imagine no films or movies without music. It would be very boring. And then essential also to dance for it assures synchronicity among dancers. Very important, no? Yung music as a factor of the music, which is a part of religion, no? Yung sa mga ritual nila, they just they play music for their gods and goddesses until later on, naging way of expressing selves na siya. And then last, we have the sculpture. So people erect statues for the divine and then commemorate important figures in history. So these are the 2 main functions of sculpture. Sikat dito yung Greek.
Sigado lang.
Kanilang sculpture. Okay, so let's go to the different perspectives of art. So art as an imitation, according to Plato, yung artist, yung tawag niya imitators, mangungopia. Tapos yung art, yung output nila are just imitation. Yeah. According naman to Aristotle, kay Plato yun, no? Art is a representation. So art endeavors what art endeavors seek to do is to provide a vision of what might be or the myriad possibilities or realities. So, for him, experience of pleasure. Ayan. So, sabi niya, a person is capable of making a horrible experience into a humorous na experience. That's why we have now comedy. So yung comedy daw comes from horrible experiences and then just put art into it and then it can become a comedy. And instructive naman siya in a sense that it teaches audience things about life. Next, according to Immanuel Kant, art is a disinterested judgment. Yeah. So he considered the judgment of beauty the cornerstone of art, and it is something that can be universal despite its subjectivity. Art naman today is art communication of emotion, something that is very common. So art plays a huge role in communication to its audience emotions that the artist previously experienced. And art serves as a language, a communication device that articulates feelings and emotions that are otherwise unavailable to the audience. And yan, art communicates emotions. Okay, so those are different with the different personalities. Okay, so this time you have a task to do, but tomorrow I will not give you any task so you can focus on your examination. So what I want you to do is you go out. So what I want you to do is you go out for 5 minutes and look for any existing artwork that is found inside the campus. Dili siya inside the campus. Inside or outside your house. Wala din na siya daig. Okay. Inside or outside your house. Okay.
Balik ko doon sa taas. By my juice, mommy. Ganina.
This was during
No?
go out and look for any existing artwork that is found inside or outside your house.
Ako sa
Three ito siya. 3 existing artwork found inside or outside your house, and then take pictures of them. Determine their functions. So that's the second task. And explain why you consider them art with function. Artwork with function. You just have to justify, no? Because subjective yung ating view when it comes to art. Ito siyang create, wala na to siya. Ito lang, no? Only this task. No need for the second one. It's only 3 existing artwork that are found in the house. You just have to write your answers in the comment section in the Schoology. Okay? Any question? Okay, I think yung sa last PowerPoint. Ang binigay ko lang pa yan. Let's call it a day, maybe, so you can work on your last output for the prelim term. Publish it. Any question?
Ay, ang bena, ha?
It's tomorrow. Until
Ah,
okay. So please download the PowerPoint presentations and review the concepts that we've discussed since day one. So you can answer the items in your exam. Multiple choice yung examination ninyo. Multiple choice. Okay. Sige, so let's call it a day. Thank you so much for coming, and you may now leave the meeting. Bye, everyone.